I have a confession to make. I'm tired of Peter Parker. In my lifetime, I have seen 5 different people take on Peter Parker as Spider-Man, and that's before even mentioning the various TV shows about Spider-Man that I've watched, all of whom star Peter Parker. What made me so tired of the character is that across all the mediums that I've seen, we've seen nearly the same thing every time. And I'm not passing judgment on any of the actors' abilities to play Spider-Man or Peter Parker. I am just tired of seeing the character portrayed in virtually the same way over and over again. And yes, they do portray him slightly differently when it comes to his age or his personality, but let's be honest, it's the same guy every time. And so when I heard about someone named Miles Morales, I wondered why we didn't get him to the forefront of a Spider-Man movie and see how he did. And now we finally got such a movie. And frankly, I think this does for Spider-Man what Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy did for Batman. This was such a badly needed breath of fresh air. We got Miles Morales, but we also finally got a different version of Peter Parker and a host of different Spider characters that I had never heard of before, and they were all fascinating. I'm spoiling a bit, but frankly, this is a late review anyway. I'll just cut to the chase. I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie yet made. It's better than Spider-Man Homecoming, it's better than Spider-Man 2, and it's better than the Amazing Spider-Man series. This is a glorious tribute to the hero Spider-Man, whether he is a man, a woman, or a pig. The hero of the story is Miles Morales, and he lives in a world where Peter Parker is a long-established hero, and also the only hero. However, disaster strikes, and Miles happens to be in the right place at the right time to be given a task to accomplish, while also being bitten by a radioactive spider. Morales also ends up getting unexpected help when a scientific experiment by the Kingpin goes haywire and brings several people from other dimensions into this one. This film has it all. It's got brilliant comedy, genuine pathos, and exhilarating action. Miles Morales is a great protagonist who brings a whole new light to the story of Spider-Man as a successor to the legend. We also get a version of Peter Parker who failed. And not just in a kind of Spider-Man 2 way, I mean he ruined his life and is a 30-something wreck of a human being. Whether he's used for comedy or sadness, Peter B. Parker is a fresh take on the character, at least as far as the films are concerned. I know they do a lot with him in the comics, but I haven't read the comics, I'm sorry. And speaking of that, before people accuse me of only liking this movie because I was already well established with the Spider-Man characters, again, I wasn't at all. I knew nothing of Miles Morales except that he existed, and I thought all the other characters they brought in were made up for the movie. I couldn't believe it when I researched it later and realized that all the Spider heroes had their own lines of comic books. Yes, sorry comic book fans, I was very ignorant of just how diverse Spider-Man is. But really, diversity is the message of the film. The villain's desire is to try and replicate something so that things go back to normal exactly the same way as before, while the message of the film is that anyone can wear the mask of Spider-Man and be the hero. These two facts combine to form I must say, I noticed a subtle middle finger towards those narrow-minded people who insist that only Peter Parker can be Spider-Man. I love that message for openness and diversity, especially in this day and age. It's hard to pick my favorite part of the movie, but I think I'd have to go with the surprise appearance of Nicolas Cage as a film noirish, almost Alan Moore-esque take on Spider-Man. Cage does such a great job with the character, keeping him funny without making him stupid in turn. He also has the funniest line of the whole movie, but I won't say what it was. If you haven't seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I urge you to give it a try. It's a great film with a lot of heart. and some of the best animation that I have seen in a long time.